On this edition of Shelby This Week, summer may be coming to a close, but mosquitoes are still lurking outside, and cases of a deadly disease have already struck Michigan. We'll tell you where and how you can stay safe. And our police department has a new educational tool for the community. We have all the information on how it will help parents in the township. And as school gets underway, one organization is making sure students have what they need. We have all this and much more coming up on Shelby This Week. The Shelby Township Police Department is asking for your help after a man robbed a gas station. Just after midnight on August 16th, surveillance video shows him wearing a black ski mask, a black shirt, and blue jeans at the Marathon gas station on Van Dyke. He was armed with a handgun and left with some money. No one was harmed in the incident, but anyone with information is asked to call Shelby Township Police. Striking here in Macomb County, it's been confirmed the first person in Michigan has West Nile virus this year. According to health officials, in addition to Macomb County, there are 3 other people who have contracted the virus, 2 in Montcalm and 1 in Oakland County. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services says the virus is very widespread this year. 148 birds in 44 Michigan counties have tested positive for West Nile. Most people who get the virus do not develop any symptoms, but health officials warn about 20% of people do become ill. Although summer is coming to a close, it's still very important to continue to take precautions. To prevent mosquito bites, make sure you're using insect repellent with DEET or Picaridin. Spray the repellent on your clothing and exposed skin. Mosquitoes are attracted to any standing water, so make sure you empty children's pools when they're not in use. We've all heard someone say, "It's on the internet, so it must be true." However, a recent hoax centered in Shelby led our Nick Buckler to find out how you can check the legitimacy of something you see online.
Scrolling through Facebook, you've seen hundreds to thousands of articles, some which are true and others you may not be so sure about. But now there's a website you can go to find out which ones are true and which ones, well, not so much. We see our friends share posts on social media about alleged crime that is happening in your neighborhood or that a celebrity has died, thinking they're spreading awareness, but a good majority of the time, what they're sharing is false. But how do we know what to believe?
If it makes you think that it sounds weird, check it. There's so many sources. You can look at Snopes.com. You can call your local police department. Don't take the word for anybody on the internet as gospel.
Last week, a post went viral about a 25-year-old woman who was nearly abducted inside the Meijer store at Hall Road in Hayes. This post has since been removed as it was 100% false. A lot of the time, the original poster will use words like, "my pastor told me," or "I heard it at church," to make it seem like it's true. But most of the time, what that does is ensure that it's just another internet hoax.
We've all seen them. All the ones that we've had made about Shelby Township are 100% untrue. It doesn't happen like that. Trafficking doesn't happen in the middle of the day in a public space. That's not what happens.
Now, as far as the hoax about the Meijer at Hall Road in Hayes, police are saying they're not sure how the original post even came about, but they did say if you have any suspicion of anything going on in your neighborhood, you can contact police. Reporting for Shelby This Week, I'm Nick Buckler.
Our local police force has a brand new education tool. Our Stacy Sansatera got the scoop on this new item at the Shelby Township Police Department.
We saw a need in the community to be able to take our education materials out into the community, not just into the schools, but into community organizations and community events, and this was the result.
The result is a mobile education trailer designed to enlighten the community.
The point of it is to educate mostly parents, teachers, staff, counselors, anybody that's involved, especially with children.
Educate adults on the current trends in regards to drug culture, usage, and paraphernalia.
And I went to a conference a couple of years ago. It was Lansing, Michigan State Police, and I think it was an IT security conference. I don't even know that it was related to this, but there was an officer there, Officer Jermaine Galloway. He's from Idaho. He's retired from the police department there, and he had a bin of this kind of paraphernalia and a room full of cops, and he was showing us these things, and I realized that nobody in the room was talking. Everybody was completely wrapped, and that meant that everybody felt like I did. We didn't know enough, and that was as a police officer. And I started to think, if I don't know about this stuff as a 20-plus year police officer, how are the parents supposed to know? How are the teachers supposed to know?
And it was at that moment that Officer Leslie understood that she must educate herself by any means possible.
Keeping current on the trends, following blogs, following maybe alternative magazines that I wouldn't commonly follow, to find what's going on in the world, and that way if we can know it, we can share it.
The mobile education trailer displays a variety of possibilities in regards to drug use. And Officer Leslie was shocked how easily certain items can be obtained.
There are things that I was able to purchase on the open market freely at the mall on Amazon that I showed my brothers, that we were all completely floored. Things, diversion safes that you can keep drugs in that look like everyday items. Things that have diversion safes or stash pockets built in, that the manufacturers deliberately build this pocket into a piece of clothing or a piece of footwear for change or valuables. But we know that that's not now what it's being used for.
And that eye-opening experience proved how important it is to stay one step ahead of current trends.
And if you have children, it is crucial that you know, because we're not talking just about, little Billy smoking a joint under the bleachers. We're talking about they're putting ecstasy and heroin in oils and smoking them. This is readily available on YouTube. I learned how to use a dab rig for my trailer on YouTube. So if we think that we can just close our ears and close our eyes and it's all just going to go away, we're not just dealing with, little Billy smoking a joint anymore. We're talking about heroin overdoses and opiate overdoses, and we're talking about much bigger problems. So we have to fill that gap in the middle so that we don't continue to head down that road.
Officer Leslie offers some common sense advice for parents.
If you think that something's going on with your kid, talk to your kid. They don't want to talk to you, they're teenagers, right? If you think something's going on, though, something is, that you're the parent, you've had that child since they were born, Don't just base your assumption on your first look. Take another look, and there's a sign inside that says take another look. Because I hear parents say, I went through their room, but I didn't really see anything. And I always say, take another look. Because if you have that feeling on the back of your neck, there's a reason.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Stacy Sansatera.
Without the donations from community members, this trailer would not be possible, and it's 100% funded through those generous donors. Distinguished community leaders and businesses will be added to the Macomb Hall of Fame. The members of the Macomb County Chamber recognize leaders in the community every year. The Chamber believes these men and women make Macomb County a better place to live, work, and play. The Macomb Hall of Fame started in 2000, and since then they've recognized 83 leaders and businesses in the area. This year's ceremony on September 21st will induct 6 businesses and people. On that list, Dr. Christine Johns, the superintendent of Utica Community Schools, and other inductees include Andy Appleby, CEO of General Sports and Entertainment, Charlie Langton of Langton Law, the Randazzo family of Randazzo Fresh Markets, Brigadier General John Slocum, who serves as a commander for the 127th Wing at Selfridge Air, and lastly, the Viviano family, who serve as lawyers, judges, and they also own a flower shop. Volunteers gathered at the Shelby Township Senior Center for a great cause, to provide for kids who might not be able to afford new school supplies and a backpack this school year.
We are packing 600 backpacks for Utica Community Schools. There's a lot of kids that need help in the community. There's homeless children. There's kids on reduced lunches, and they need some help with the foundation for school supplies. So Kiwanis supports the children and gives them the supplies that they need.
A bunch of school supplies. We have markers, colored pencils, paper, folders, glue sticks, just your normal school supplies to start the kids out.
The Kiwanis organization is now making the rounds and dropping off backpacks to kids in Utica community schools. Still ahead on Shelby this week, one Macomb County organization brings smiles to hundreds of Michigan kids by giving them one thing. We'll tell you how this organization has been giving to the community and how you can help out as well. And an annual luncheon and vendor show is fast approaching, and this year's theme will give you a lot of new information on a topic that hits Michigan hard. Stay with us on Shelby this week.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul,
estimated time 47 hours.
they will beg,
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
they will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking?
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
The stadium lights were on and the players hit the field. We head into week 2 of high school football. Eisenhower and Dakota went head-to-head for the MAC Red, and Utica was on the road this week at Grosse Pointe South against the Blue Devils. Here are your football highlights.
Eisenhower taking on Dakota. Mark Toko back to pass. Outlet to Ronye Walker, and he's in for a touchdown. Eisenhower would answer back quickly. Max Whitwer to Jack Morris, and we're all knotted up at 7 apiece. Dakota's next drive would stall out, but they would come away with a field goal. But Eisenhower didn't take their foot off the gas. Caleb Oyster falling into the end zone, 14-10. And then some defense here. Ian Kennelly stepping in front of one and bringing it back for the Eagles. And the Eagles would make them pay. Whitwer to a wide open Jack Morris. More of an aerial attack. Whitwer to the outstretched hands of Caleb Oyster. Nobody's in front of him. Touchdown. Dakota trying to claw their way back into this one. Mark Toko to Brandon Michalik. Eisenhower to answer back. Caleb Oyster looking like he's playing Madden, spinning and dodging past defenders into the end zone. And Jack Morris gets his hat trick of touchdowns right here from Max Whitwer to lengthen their lead. Nail in the coffin as Ben Metz steps in front of this one to bring us to our final score. Eisenhower 42, Dakota 16. Utica traveling all the way to Grosse Pointe South to take on the Blue Devils. Leonard Kasem running to daylight. Down after a long run. Utica strikes first blood. Darren Pagasic sending this one right into the outstretched hands of Kavan Higdon. And they're up 7-0. Big hit right here. Miles Deering for the Blue Devils. Davis Graham back to pass. Right to his tight end, Riley Francis, and he rumbles into Utica territory. Their drive would stall out, 4th down, going for the field goal, but Davis Graham, it's a fake, lobs it to Ryan Downey. They went for 2 and didn't make it, so it was 7-6. Utica still leads. Connor McKenna with some hard running here. Their drive would stall, and Cameron Shook going for a 54-yard field goal, and it's good, 9-7. Grosse Pointe South trying to lengthen their lead, but Kavan Higdon steps in front of this one. But turnovers plague the Chieftains. Jacob Hinkle, Connor McKenna diving into the end zone to make it 16-7. The Blue Devils backed up on their one, punting, and it's blocked by Utica. They recover, touchdown. But South will get the ball back and run the clock out. Final score, Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils 16, Utica Chieftains 14.
One Macomb County organization has dedicated close to 15 years of service. Courtney Bennett has more on how it helps kids across Michigan and in our community.
Since 2003, Maggie Varney has dedicated every day to providing smiles and confidence to kids in Michigan. She started her career as a cosmetologist, but after a conversation with a 16-year-old girl, she realized there was a need for wigs designed for children who are experiencing hair loss. And from her conversation, she started a nonprofit organization.
Well, Wigs for Kids is a local grassroots nonprofit organization, and what we do is provide wigs and support services for children all throughout the state of Michigan who are experiencing hair loss for any reason.
It feels like this is my home because I feel very comfortable here. I can come here without my wig, and it wouldn't really matter to them what I look like, as long as I have those people who really care about me, that don't care really about what I have or if I have a wig or not.
I see every child that walks through that door personally. I service them myself. I cut their wig, I measure and fit them, and I put the wigs on their head, and when they come back to be serviced in 3 months for me to check it, I'm there.
From her staff to the children she services, Maggie leaves an impact on everyone she comes in contact with.
She's just great. She's always there for you. If you need anything, she'll give it to you right away.
We had 14,000 hair donations last year from around the world, from 53 different countries.
Different people donate the hair, and they would make it for you, and it's kind of a different feeling. You know how other people really care about kids like you, and they would donate their hair.
If it were not for the kindness of people in our communities and the generosity, we would not be able to do the work that we do because there's no funding for a program like this.
Her passion for the kids keeps her going even on the tough days. Maggie becomes a part of these kids' families and their lives. While there are a lot of positive things about her job, there are some things that make her position very difficult.
Losing the kids. Because unfortunately, a percentage of them we do. And that is still and will always be the hardest part of my job. But I am so honored that I got to be a part of their life and that they had such an impact on my life.
And if you're interested in donating your hair to help make a wig for a child, or if you know a child in need, visit wigs4kids.org. Inviting all women, the Shelby Community Foundation is holding their annual luncheon and vendor showcase. This year's theme is human trafficking, which has become a huge problem here in Michigan, and Nancy Bates, who serves as the chairman of the foundation, felt this was a good year to have this topic as the focus.
Well, we just felt it was a very big interest item at this time, and because we have heard so much about it, we wanted to share that with others. And we are having Laura Toy from the office of Judy Emmons. She's a senator, and she introduced, and a bill was passed, and it's to help with human trafficking victims, because many times they're arrested for prostitution or drug use or something like that, but if they were put into the system against their will, then this bill that she introduced would help them to have specialists, work in their favor.
Along with Laura Toy, attendees will have the chance to hear from a human trafficking victim, someone who is now part of our community.
I hope that they will become aware of the problem, that they will become more careful in training their children and in watching their children. And I hope also that people will be aware so that they would try and help these people. They're trying to form organizations now that will contribute to helping these young women, and men too, sometimes young men are taken also.
In addition to the guest speakers, there will be vendors, lunch, and grant money giveaways. The event is September 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Cherry Creek Golf Club. Tickets are $35 and can be purchased online at ShelbyCommunityFoundation.org. If you're tired of the same boring food choices and you're looking for something new, the Shelby Township Farmers Market is the place to be. On September 16th, the Macomb Restaurant Supply is sponsoring an event happening right at the market. Taste of Shelby will give community members the chance to sample and even take home dinner for the night. Local restaurants will be set up for people to browse. Coupons will also be given away to guests as they attend the market. Taste of Shelby will be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Packard Proving Grounds. And don't forget the Shelby Township Farmers Market will continue until October 14th, so you still have a few more Saturdays left to check it out. And after you attend the Shelby Township Farmers Market, there's another event which will be fun for the whole family. Utica Food Truck Rally 2.0 will give guests the chance to enjoy street food and live music. There's no cost to attend and everyone is invited to come out and bring a lawn chair and a cooler. Music will be provided by the Little Big Man Band, and a wide variety of food will satisfy all taste buds. The food truck rally will be held on September 16th from 5 to 10 p.m. in the Utica Library parking lot. Summer is coming to a close and the leaves will begin to change. We have all the information on when the prime time to catch those changing trees will be. And after Hurricane Harvey, many places throughout the country are banding together and providing help and support for Houston. One local organization is giving in a big way, and we'll tell how you can help next.
I would like to take a moment to share some fire safety tips for pet owners.
Remember, your pet can be curious, and curiosity can definitely start a fire.
Pets may bump into or knock over a variety of things, such as cooking equipment, lamps, candles.
As a reminder, do not leave any of these items unattended with your pet alone in the room.
Some pets like to chew. Please make sure that your pets don't chew on any electrical cords. If you do have a fire in your home, get out and stay out. Let the firefighters know when they get there that you have a pet inside your home.
Fall season is officially upon us, and while some people are looking forward to the cooler weather, most Michiganders have their eyes on the trees. As everyone knows, with the cooler weather means the leaves will begin changing, and this year the peak of season of color will happen sooner than most years. SmokyMountains.com published a fall foliage map providing the best time frame to see all the leaf colors. For everyone here in the Lower Peninsula, we can expect a slight change in color starting sometime in the next week. The colors will peak around October 1st, and by the 8th of October, the peak time will be over. You can check out the full map on SmokyMountains.com/fall-foliage-map. And you no longer have to feel guilty about drinking coffee during the day. Coffee lovers rejoice because a new study says drinking 4 cups each day can be part of a healthy diet and lower your risk of death. The study was done by the European Society of Cardiology Congress. It found the more coffee you drink, the better your chance at living a more healthy and fulfilled life. The study followed 20,000 participants for 10 years. Those who drank at least 4 cups of coffee per day had a 64% chance lower rate of death compared to the participants who never drank coffee or rarely did. So don't feel bad for drinking coffee each morning. It can actually be beneficial for your health and help you live longer. Texas was hit hard by Hurricane Harvey, and many people have been displaced and lost everything. One local organization is giving back to the people of Houston.
We got a call the other day from TLC Animal Sanctuary, and they wanted to know if we wanted to be involved in their outreach program for Texas. And of course, my girls over here were all trying to figure out what can we do to help. And so this was just perfect timing for that. And so what we did was we became one of their drop-off points. And the outpouring of love in the last 2 days of people coming in here and bringing food and all different types of things, food for people, food for animals, water, toiletries, all different types of things have gone out of here. We had our first truckload that went out today, and it was just completely jam-packed, and we still have at least 2 more truckloads to go, and We're going to be doing this for 4 weeks, so people can still bring their stuff anytime, and we'll be happy to take it and become that drop-off point for them in Macomb County.
In addition to the supplies the Macomb Humane Society is collecting, they will also be welcoming dogs from Texas next week.
When I saw this situation, one of the things I do know is I did a lot of studying on what happened in Katrina. And it broke my heart that there were so many animals that lost their lives during that, were displaced. This is an ample opportunity right now, or a good opportunity, for people to reach out to these animals. When these rescues bring animals back here, it's going to be essential that they come in here and help, or not here necessarily, but wherever they bring them to. If they bring some here, we're going to be looking for the public to come in here and take them. The object of what's going on down there, which is what was missing in Katrina, is that there are so many animals that are displaced right now. The animals that are in the shelters are the ones that they're bringing here so that they can open room for the displaced animals. So when people go look for their animals, they have an opportunity to find them down there. So that's the goal of the rescue groups right now around the country.
The shelter will be taking dog supplies as well as supplies for people to send down to Harvey victims. Drop off your donations at the shelter located on 22 Mile Road. They'll be accepting items for the next 3 weeks. And if you're looking to give an animal a loving home, adopt at the Macomb Humane Society. That's it for us here at Shelby this week. You can get updates on all of these stories and many others on our Facebook page. Just search ShelbyTV. And speaking of adopting at the Humane Society, one of our own just adopted a brand new dog. You've seen Dan Myers right here on Shelby TV, and maybe we'll be seeing his new pup make an appearance on the wrap-up when the Puppy Bowl happens in February. So we'll leave you now with Dan and Penny. Thanks for watching.
Go say hi. Go say hi.
Toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together.